Good morning, I'm Tina Laster and you're here at Laster Farm, the new Laster Farm. So we have gotten here on the property. We're gonna get started on maybe unloading this and getting some things mowed up around the pond. Right now it's still very wet out here from the dew because it is just a little after 7. And we are going to get started on our day here at the new farm and see what we can get accomplished today. We're excited about being here on the new farm, and we're excited about expanding this farm. It is just a beautiful place. I just can't get over how beautiful it is. I mean, I feel so blessed that God has put Steve and I to steward this property. And I hear the little baby goats over there hollering this morning with the neighbor, and I'm sure their roosters will start crowing here in a minute. But just to hear life, you know, here on the farm, you know, around the farm. And Steve has unloaded. He's unloading at the front of the property where he can back the truck up in the ditch and unload the tractor where he won't have to get his ramps out. So I'm going to mosey on up this way just a little bit just to see if I can see what he's doing. And I want to kind of look at the area today after he gets some of it mowed and just see where we're going to put the garden. Now, I wanted to put the garden over here on this spot, over here, but this spot is kind of low, and it's kind of at a slope, and so I don't know what we're going to do yet. And then we could put it over here along this edge of trees on this slope, but I think we're going to let our road come in the middle, kind of. So, and that hadn't been decided to be the exact, so I don't know. But this spot right here is where I thought about putting the greenhouse, in this little area. But if we put our garden here, it's going to take some leveling up. And I'm not saying we can't do that, it's just, I don't know, it looks more level in this area right there. But I don't know. Big decisions, big decisions. I'm glad I've got these decisions to make, because for a long time, you know, we just had the 2 acres and nowhere to expand, and now we have this beautiful property. It's just beautiful, and so quiet over here too. And there are all kinds of tracks out here. I see deer, I see raccoon. I don't know what else is out here. There's no telling. Well, I'm gonna put this on pause and we'll be back here in a minute. Okay, Steve is on the tractor mowing. He's mowed this area here where we've got our trucks parked, and he's working on the high ridge over there. I call it the house spot. I think he's gonna get that mowed up, and he's gonna work on getting it mowed by the, I say mowed, but it's bush hogged because it's kind of a rough cut. And we got our little path down through there, bush hogged. And I'm gonna get over here with the weed eater, and I'm gonna start weed eating around the pond so I can get in here with the pole saw and work on some of these little limbs and little trees that are around this pond, and just kind of you know, just kind of tidy up a little bit. Look over here on this side where I mean, it really needs tidying up over there. So we're just gonna see what we can get done, and then I'm gonna start me a pile of, you know, sticks and stuff somewhere on that ridge over there so we can burn those and there's a lot of metal on this property laying up near trees and stuff. And so we got to start a scrap metal pile to take off. So we'll be doing that in the process of working on this property as well. Well, I had to get me a drink. My chain came off of the pole saw, and so it's gotten a little clogged up with tree bark, grass, you name it. It don't take long for it to get bogged down with rubbish. Clean this out. Okay. Now, put the chain back on. Well, I'm glad we're over here getting something done today. I just was looking forward to it, even though it is work. And I asked Steve a while ago, you know, when he started mowing, I said, well, do you feel like this property's yours now? He said, well, I do now. So he's so excited about it. I thought that I was more excited about the property than him, you know, because I've been wanting it forever. And sometimes I feel like I talk him into things, you know, and this is one thing that I didn't want to just talk him into, you know. If he didn't want to build, and if he just was satisfied where we were, and if he didn't want more land, I was going to try to be content with it, you know, because I hate, you know, he's very close to us, him retiring from his job, you know, don't like long. Probably about, well, probably 3 years maybe. And he may end up staying on longer anyway, so I just didn't want this property to be a burden if he wanted to go ahead and retire early. And let's see. Look at that. There we go. I just like to pull out on this blade part and get it, you know, brace it where I can turn this and tighten it down. That's how I like to put it back on. Now you got this little thing here that can adjust and move the little bar slide up and down, but I find it's not really necessary because you don't want your blade too tight that you can't pull down on it, you know, and it bounce back. You want it to bounce back. You don't want it too tight because it will really keep it in a bind. And you don't want it too loose because it's going to, you know, fall off and not get hung up in the tree. So I have almost completed, you know, I started halfway here at the front and I've gone all the way down to the very end. I like a few more. Now there are a few big trees that Steve's gonna have to cut with the chainsaw, but I thought today that we could just come through and use the bucket of the tractor and pick up all these limbs and put us a pile over here somewhere in the open so we can start burning some of these, letting those dry out, because these are just really too small to cut up and make kindling with, or, you know, good sized stakes for the fire pit. So I'm gonna get back over here and I'm gonna get started and finish up this side over here. And Steve, he looks like he's making a path down through here at the back because we're trying to figure out where we want the garden, and he was going to kind of mow out a spot for that. And he mowed up near the driveway, and he mowed the potential house spot over here and just a strip through here. We're probably not going to mow the whole thing right now because it's a lot to mow. I mean, we're not going to mow the whole 20 acres anyway. A lot of it is woods, and we're going to have to clear out some, and then some of it we're just going to let it be wild. And over the years of us living over here, I'm sure we'll go in there and start thinning out some of the, you know, stuff that's falling down in the woods, and just kind of let that grow natural down there because it's so pretty and I hate to disturb it. But over here on this side, I just really cut out the junk stuff, like the cedars that weren't looking very good. But when I did that, there's a lot of little willow oaks in here, and I love willow oaks. And so they're not very high. I mean, there's one over there that's probably 10 or 15 foot tall. And then there's some over here that's like 2 and 3 foot tall, little willow oaks. I saw a holly tree down there. It's really cute. It's probably about this tall. And then I saw a white pine tree. It was somewhere in here. Let me see. Well, there it is. It's behind this little tree. And it's about 2 foot tall. So I'm going to leave those and let those grow on up, because those pines that are on this property are just beautiful. And there's several in here in front of this little grove. And then there's a lot back here behind. Now, I don't really care for a lot of the cedar trees, because when they grow up to a certain height, when they start, you know, branching out, they really look thin and aren't that pretty. Now, there is one down here that's growing kind of over the pond, and it's branched out, and it's kind of pretty. But they're really not good for your fruit trees, for your apple trees. They get that rust on the apples, and I just really, it would take a minute to cut all the cedars that are on this property out, and I probably won't do that. But if I see it's going to be a problem around close to the orchard, I'll probably cut, you know, most of those out. But it's just a lot, y'all. I just cannot believe this is ours. You know, I know that God says, if, you know, ask anything in faith believing, and it shall be done. And I feel like, you know, that it's still, you know, when we ask God for this property, you know, in July, we asked God to help us find some property. And we, you know, asked if the land, you know, behind us, if it didn't come available, to make a way for something else to come available. And I have you know, it was just, you know, from us praying that prayer the very same week we saw this, you know, and it's just unreal how fast God puts things together. Now for us, from August the 2nd of signing, you know, with the realtor, you know, with the potential intent to purchase this property, it seemed like it took forever from the 2nd of August until, you know, September the 18th to our closing date. But I'm so thankful, and I think Steve is really happy. You know, I know I'm happy, but I still am sad that we're going to be leaving our home, you know, that we've had there for, you know, 34 years on that property. Now, our home hasn't been built that long. It's been 28, something like that. But just to be able to, you know, find our new forever home, our forever land, you know, to grow old on and just enjoy, and a place for the kids and the grandkids to be able to come. That's just my want, you know. I want my kids to be able to come out here, and my son to be able to go down there and hunt if he wanted to in the woods, because there are deer here. But it's just a beautiful place, and I thank the Lord for it. Steve and I are so thankful and are so blessed. There's not a day that doesn't go by that we don't thank the Lord for all of his many blessings that he's given us over the years. We just look back and we can see God, how he's moved so much in our lives, and how, you know, I just couldn't imagine me, you know, being without him. You know, a lot of things come up in our lives, a lot of trials, you know, and we wonder sometimes why we're having to go through those things, because, you know, everybody doesn't see things like we do. You know, we're all different, you know, and everybody, anyway, I don't mean to get on this rant and rave, but I'll just leave it at that. And I just want to, you know, just praise the Lord and thank him for this property, because I'm still in awe, you know, of it. I mean, it's just so beautiful, and I'm so thankful. And anyway, maybe one of these days, once we get everything in place, we can have some of our YouTube family come out to the farm, and once we get our event barn up, and we can have some type of learning center here. And, you know, I love to craft and do things, and do seasonal things and wreaths, and, you know, decorating. I love to do that. So it would be great to teach some classes here once I get my event barn done. And I'd love for y'all to be able to come out and see the farm and spend time with us. And we're going to eventually, in the future, we're going to do some butchering classes. We're going to do some classes on processing pigs, and we're going to also do some classes on butchering our own chickens. So I would love, you know, for y'all to be able to come out to the farm, and we're going to teach some classes on that. So that's just something in a far future, but it's just something that we're looking forward to doing here on the farm. I wish that I knew a lot of my YouTube family from West Tennessee. I wish that I had a list of email addresses and phone numbers, and especially my fellow YouTubers that have YouTube channels in West Tennessee and around this area, even Middle Tennessee, so we can all get together here one day and have us some type of gathering and like a meet and greet. That would be wonderful. So I've got a lot of plans for this property, and I've got a lot of plans to take you guys along with us. So I'm going to get over here and get back started, because Steve is probably going to wonder why I haven't already gotten all of these limbs gathered up and put over here on the burn pile. But I was really hoping he would come by with the tractor, we could load them. So maybe he will. So I'm going to cut you guys off for right now, and then we're going to get back to cleaning up. I guess I need to see if this works. So, without the chain coming off, huh? It works. Well, we got quite a bit done today. I'm burning up, my clothes are soaking wet, Steve is wet, and it's just been a hot muggy day over here. Every once in a while we'd get a little breeze, but a majority of the day it's been just overwhelmingly hot out here. But I want to show you what we did get done today. I ended up trimming all of the limbs from the middle right here all the way around to the other side, and then my battery quit, and then I tried to weed eat some, and then I ran out of battery again. And then we just got the picnic table here yesterday and got it unloaded, and we're gonna probably fix a concrete or some type of something underneath it. And I love my little flowers. They're just sitting here so pretty, and so I thought I'm gonna put the little bench over here by the little pond, and we can sit and have those beautiful flowers that's behind us and the pond in front of us. On this side we ended up putting the plastic down, but we had to bring in more dirt. Steve got several tractor scoops from our pile of dirt that we've got to move that's over there. But that pile of dirt is full of big tree roots, so we've had to take most of those and put them in a pile on another part of the property so we can burn those. But this is what I wanted to get done today. Now, I did not get my furniture painted. I've got the spray paint to paint them black, and I was gonna paint the fire pit again black, but it will just burn off, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. And then we didn't have the pavers that I wanted to go around this, because we didn't have enough of the other kind, and I never could find any on Marketplace that matched it. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna just go buy new pavers to go around this. But it's across from our little pond, and I just love it. I just love how it's gonna look. Now we're gonna have to get in here and get those trees cut out, and we hesitated about putting this pit here because we're gonna have to cut those trees and those because they're covered in grapevine and they're smothering. The grapevine is just smothering the trees out, and it's killing the trees, so definitely gonna have to do that. But this is just our first day over here working, and I think we've gotten quite a bit done, because we had about 4 tractor scoops of this gray rock that we unloaded by hand, so with a shovel. And I wish we could have used the bucket of the tractor to put it, you know, around the pit. But over here, Steve is on the other side of this little wooded area, and he's finishing up the mowing over there. Let's walk over there and we'll see it. There's the little trail, and you can see what I took down earlier, but definitely got to come clean it all up now. But you can kind of get an idea. In the home, we're going to probably put the house over there. We were going to put the guest house here, but I think we've changed our mind. I think we're going to put it somewhere else on the property, because we would just like to really use this space. This area is like a gathering area, and if I wanted to use it also for the wedding venue, we could, you know, this space could be used for something else. And eventually we might put some type of little pavilion in here, outside kitchen close to the little pond. Let's go walk down here and see see what we've gotten done. Now Steve mowed the ridge over here where we thought we were going to put the house, so it's mowed. And then he mowed the driveway spot from the road all the way down. And then he went and got our lunch, and so I got on the tractor and I mowed this back part, and he is finishing up what I didn't get through, because I told him, I said, we're gonna have to get out here and we're gonna have to unload all that gravel, because we're gonna be tired if we keep mowing and doing whatever, you know. There's a lot of tree roots out here, and there's still a lot of cleanup. Let me flip the camera around so you can see. But it's looking pretty out here. I love how it looks mowed, and it's hilly. We had almost thought about moving the building the house on this side over here, but I don't want to build it next to the neighbors, you know. Kind of like the secluded spot on the other side. I thought I might walk around here, because I was thinking about maybe putting the guest house around here on this side. I'm leaning toward this spot right here, in this area. I'm leaning right there. I'm thinking about putting my garden right there, my little greenhouse, and using maybe from this little low spot all the way back here for my garden. But there's some runoff spots, and it's low right in here, so I'm still undecided on that, as usual. But I thought that we might put the guest house maybe right in this space and have it facing out that way. Let me just go up here and see what this looks like. This would be a good spot, and the pond and our trucks are just on the other side right here. I'm thinking this right here would be a great spot. Thin out some of these trees, so the back of the house will be in this way, facing the pond, and just trim these little ones out so we could put that 24 by 24 addition that we're going to add on to the guest house back in these wooded area, and then face the front this way. And then our road driveway is going to come out right there between those patches of trees, and it's going to come around this way and go back out the back over here. So I'm thinking this would be a good place for it, because if we build our house on the other side, we'll have this little grove of trees to separate it. But I'm just thinking out loud. But I pretty well said I think this is what I want to do. But who knows, because I may change my mind again. Well, we are gonna, he doesn't like much over there mowing. He likes a couple of strips, I think. And once he gets that done, we're gonna head back to the house and get the kids' supper made. And I've got to take Mama to the doctor in the morning. And so Steve's gonna work around the house until I get finished. He's got some things he's gonna do. He's gonna work on his trencher, and he messed his trailer up today unloading the tractor, the piece of metal that holds his boards down. He's gonna have to probably fix that. It's coming loose, or it's bending. So he's gonna work on that, and he's gonna work on the trencher and a few odds and end jobs that he needs to get done. And so we probably won't meet back over here until tomorrow afternoon. And I really don't know what we're gonna do or what we're gonna bring over, because that garden spot over there has a lot of work to be done. So we might have to have the box blade or something to work on that, leveling something up. Well, like I said, I'm gonna get off of here and quit rattling on. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. My channel is going up just a little bit every day, and I am so thankful for you guys. So follow along with us tomorrow and see what we're gonna do over here tomorrow, and see what we can bring over and get done. I don't know what it's gonna be though. But anyway, God bless you. Until next time, we'll see you back here at Laster Farm. Bye.